A pleasure to me all at last, and welcome back to the Vlog-A-Thon 5.0. And so now, coming fresh out of a really heated thing that I just had to do to keep myself tip-top and as shapely as possible. But now I feel like I've gotten all of this unwanted stress cleared out, and so with that in mind, it's time to move on to another little thing that I've actually been wanting to do for a long time. I've talked about this in a few other videos, and well, I've also had some mentionings of it elsewhere, but one thing that I have never quite got to do throughout this whole year was going around the world. Yeah, this was a plan that I've been wanting to put together here in 2022. I planned on going to 9 different locations throughout the world, starting with Iceland and ending with Australia, then coming right on back here. But of course, there were a few problems to that. One being the money, and the other being all of the stuff that's happened since 2019. I could never have figured that anything like any of this would have ever happened. I mean, who would have thought that any of this was possible? Who could have potentially put together a time where anything that we've had, from the pandemic to a series of warfare? It's just incredible how history has such deception, such inaccuracy to what we originally predicted. Such, oh man, I feel like my mind's just twisted at this point. But man, these were just some great plans I had for the future. I mean, I myself would never have figured that any of the latter I've spoken of here or elsewhere would have ever happened. I could never have predicted it, and well, it just straight up happened when I least expected it. October 2019, all this started. A pandemic erupted somewhere in the world, spread across the rest of the world within a few months, and bam, we got ourselves in a pickle. Then more pickles started showing up. They got really seedy as time went on. 2020 ended, and a lot of them started perceiving that it was the worst year of all time, when it really is untrue, because 1 week into 2021, our capital is destroyed. Like, you can't make any of this stuff up. Haven't I said this enough? I feel like I've had way too many times, but that's just what happens when you have repercussions of all of the unnecessary dialogue that comes out of people's mouths. I mean, opinion is one thing, but stating lies? Come on, man. That is so unnecessary and untrue. To think 2020 was the worst year ever, when the following year was actually the worst. And I got so much proof of that. It really is mind-blowing that nobody even says anything about it. But yeah, you know, traveling the world, honestly, even today, when I feel like that things might be clearing up after all has been said and done, and all has happened and not happened, I really do feel that traveling around the world might actually be possible for me. And with all the time that I've spent collecting money from various jobs and whatnot, it just might be something I could actually do within, let's say, 5 years from now. But I'm not exactly sure where to start. Maybe I could go out and hire a travel agent. Maybe I could get myself some advisors on things. Maybe I could consult with other people I know. But too bad a lot of them are now gone, so I can't really do a whole lot about that. And I can't really do a whole lot with a bunch of the other people that are still alive on this world or otherwise. No, heaven's not real. Do not give me that. Do not start with dirt. Stupid fantasy. Well, you know what? I feel like that all this has just been a nice little way for me to say traveling around the world really is a thing that I've never done in my life, and I really wanted to so badly. But this whole year has just never allowed me to do so. The lack of funds, complete with the many things I had to do as an adult, from paying bills to getting my life situated and keeping my taxes and annual things all kept up fair and square. just so I can at least thrive with ease. But you know what? I sure do hope that someday I might actually find a good opportunity in life to be able to have a nice fun trip out in Iceland, Spain, Australia, Canada, Argentina, or any others perhaps. I really do love those countries, let's be real here. There's probably a bunch of others I could also do. Thailand maybe? Or Egypt? Norway? I can't entirely be sure. Maybe even, I can't really be sure, like Belize? Yeah. Anyways, apart from all that, I feel like that's just all I have to say about being able to travel around the world and why that's never been a possibility for all this time since I first even mentioned about it. I've gotten a few questions from people and I've gotten emails, DMs and whatnot here and there, but thankfully all that's going to be laid to rest today. With this part of the Vlog-A-Thon, hopefully now you understand why none of that has ever happened. And as for anything else, final statements and whatnot, I got a whole lot of work to do here. So hopefully I can get back and do everything else that I can possibly ever do as far as my life goes. The timetable that I got on things hasn't really been very easy for me, but I can make it work. So please, make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side if you'd like to see more.